We have a really big video coming for you too, that we've worked on for a couple of weeks. And this is instead of two phones, we have four phones of people that were sitting in the same exact area. And they were able to see the different ride requests that were coming in. And there were quite a few notes that I had to take while I was editing through this to make sure everybody knew exactly what was going on. So I have 30 in 5 minutes, 30 discrepancies when it comes to how it was priced for rides, how it was priced for Boost Plus, because not everybody had the same Boost Plus, not everybody had the same surge. And it was pretty interesting. Ragey Music, what's up? In Buffalo too. Awesome. Welcome. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get into that now. Sergio, did you want to kind of kick this off or anything? You're on mute. You're on mute. You got to click the unmute button, bruh.
For my coughing reasons, I have the mute button. So anyway, we had this huge event in downtown LA a couple of weeks ago called Curbivore. About 75 drivers showed up from delivery to rideshare drivers. And you know what do rideshare drivers do when they get together? They get to whip their phones out and then try to figure out what the heck is going on in Uberland. And we had this test done from Chicago with two phones side by side. And this video got posted on Facebook pages and uberpeople.net, and people went nuts. And how dare that they send different pricing to different drivers. Well, we already knew this was going on. So all we did was we whipped out our phones and put them side by side, and we said, here we go. This is what Uber does. So, and again, I just was the facilitator of the videoing of the stuff. Everything else is on Chris, and Chris did an amazing job as usual putting these side by side, because these were all individual videos, by the way, and to sync it, to put it side by side. So give Chris a hand, huge hand, because without him doing this wouldn't happen. But we're going to keep doing this because we think this is not I mean, it's shady, obviously, but it may not even be legal. So, but that aspect is a different story. So with that said, this is the first time I'm seeing it myself after editing, so let's go.
Yeah. So just a couple of things to note for those who are listening and maybe driving at the current moment. You are going to hear some of the Uber requests, some of the trip radar, some of the things going on. So just please be paying attention to what is on the video and what we're going to be talking about versus using the actual app itself. So I just want to make that distinction before we go on. And then those who have PTSD of listening to the sounds, I'm sorry, but I did want to have something going on. So it would help when we were pausing the video and showing the screenshots and all that stuff. So we are not currently on screen because we want to make sure that it gets the full amount that it can. You see three phones on here. Fourth phone's going to come on in a minute. But everything is synced up to the time. So as you can see on these three phones and then the fourth phone, it will change the time specifically at the same frame, essentially. So it is at 3:50 in the afternoon when this test was done. It was about 5 minutes. There was about 30 different instances, and there could have even been more. There were so many ride requests coming in at different times that I may have lost track of a couple of them. So if you see them and you're like, hey, there was this ride request that you missed, by all means, let us know, because then we can just add to the different instances. But yeah, so quite a bit. First, right off the bat, you can see there's differences on these two phones versus the third phone, and even the surge. So if you look, you see the first phone says it's $1.75 included for surge and $1.50 Boost Plus included. You go to the next screenshot of the same of a different phone. They have a $2 surge and $1.50 Boost Plus. Then you go to the third phone, and they only have $1.75 surge with no Boost Plus. So as you can see, it's already picking and choosing between drivers that are literally standing next to each other doing this test. So there's the next one. And all right, right here is the first. Again, if you look, all of the surge is actually aligned right now when it comes in, but 2 other phones have 150 Boost Plus, one phone has no Boost Plus, and another one has a $2 Boost Plus. So right there, you can see. Can we give the context of the 3 drivers? Sergio, can you give the context of the drivers on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 of these drivers drive EVs. They drive exactly the same car, a Tesla Model Y. One of them is I'm on a regular. Actually, I'm the guy without the boost. Actually, everybody else seems like they have boost except me, so I'm the chosen one in this one, which happens to be the second phone. The EV drivers obviously know they get $1 credit, and the other thing is one of the EV drivers had 3% acceptance rate. None of us had more than 20% acceptance rate. Okay. And lastly, the 2 EV cars are basically the first and the third phone, and the 2 gas cars or ICE cars are the third and the fourth screenshots that you see. And we both can do X, and we were all set up at X and Uber X. Period. Obviously, the EVs could do higher platforms. So, but they were all set at X. We were all set side by side. The phones were literally laying on the table side by side. And you guys will see the difference. I mean, the cancellation rates were very similar, and acceptance rates were very similar as well. But the first phone, from what I can recall, has the lowest acceptance rate of 3%.
Okay. Yeah, and somebody just wrote that it's not the same addresses. No, I know that. What this was highlighting is how Surge is semi-different. In this screenshot, it wasn't. It was the Boost Plus, where one's $1.50 difference, one's $2, and one phone doesn't have it. So that's kind of this first breakdown, just showing you that, yeah, it's going to be driver specific on the types of surge that they're getting, and even the boosts that they may or may not be getting. So Boost Plus, unfortunately, I don't have in my area, so I'm not the in and out of that. That's something Sergio has. But Sergio, there was a question, says, isn't your rating determined your boost and bonus? You know if that's true or not.
Say it again. Oh, isn't your no? It does not determine actually, my rating is 496 with over 7,000 trips, and they all have 496, 498 ratings. Your rating has absolutely nothing to do with the boost, and I was the only one that did not have the boost. So my rating is, I would say, is 496 is pretty decent after 7 years. The other thing is that none of this stuff really makes any sense to me, just for the fact that why would everybody else have boost and I will not have boost? But it is what Uber algorithms decide, and I don't think it should be that way. Like, we're side by side. Why 3 drivers have boost and I don't have any boost? I'm not sure why. And one comment says, Uber doesn't care what you say. They're not going to tell you who accused you. They're not going to give you. I don't think that has anything to do with this video. So yeah, let's run it and let's
No,
see where we are.
I think that's from Display Ride, the segment
Oh,
before.
okay.
So, all right. Well, when it comes to questions and stuff like that, we will star them, and then we'll get to them after this segment, regarding to this segment, just so we can kind of keep on. Because even though this is only a 6-minute video, it's probably going to be a little bit of time as we're going through everything, just to keep you guys posted on that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get right into some of the things when it comes down to the actual run of this. All right, so right here, this first one, you can see is different. They do have the same surge, the same Boost Plus, but the difference is that the price is just about $1 difference. Not even, it's just randomly different. So you can see the first one is 2751 and the other one is 2657 when you compare the two. And it's exact same pickup, same drop off.
And these are the 2 EVs side by side, by the way. So it's not the dollar EV difference on this one. And there is another trip difference right here.
Now this one is this is actually 2 different rides, but The whole thing is it's the same exact distance. So if you look at the address, says Beacon Lane and Eldridge Ave in Inglewood for the destination, and the pickup is a little bit different. So this is actually two different rides, and you can see because the rating for a particular person is, instead of 4.86, it's 4.78. So this could be potentially two different people trying to go to the same place, who are either friends or something on it, but you could see the two different rates. So you have one that is 1977, again, same pickup and drop off, but they are coming from two different riders for 1977. And then the other ride is $24.14. And that's about $4.50, something like that right there.
Yeah.
When it comes to difference in it. And you're still going the same exact pickup and drop off, even though it is two different rides, just to make
note though, Chris, one of them is on Trip Radar, which is Uber is notorious of doing that. Like they will be shopping this on Trip Radar for a different price while they're pinging another driver for a different price.
Nope,
so,
that's not really true.
Well,
you'll prove that in a little while. What comes in might be a penny or two off, but most of the time it's actually the same price, at least from the ones that I've seen when it came from the Trip Radar back to an actual request coming in. So that's not really true. That's out the window there.
But you do realize the one on the darker screen is on Trip Radar, right? It's not a ping.
But still, that's got nothing to do with it when it comes down to how they're pricing rides. So, so if you're getting a Trip Radar and then all of a sudden it comes to you, it's going to be maybe a penny or two different. Sometimes it might be a little different, but most of the time it's going to come in at the same exact price or even lower. I've seen it lower one time too. So, but the reality of it, it's mostly going to stay the same as is.
So one of the other reasons this test is important that we're doing in California is because Uber and Lyft. Yeah, you go ahead and run that.
All right, so right here you can see two different rides, or I'm sorry, two rides again, different pay, and you're getting, the only difference is the $2 when it comes to $2 plus, but in reality it's not even a $2 difference. So you see $804 for the one ride with the $1.75 surge. On the other side you see $997, which should be you think would be $1004 when it comes to a $1.75 surge with a $2 boost plus included. So some of these numbers that they're pulling are so arbitrary. You have no idea where they're coming from or how they're even pricing these things.
Yeah, because they don't consider miles and minutes anymore. They just kind of whip it out of the box and go, here it is. You want to do it? Do it.
All right, right here, you're seeing a couple of different things here. There's quite a few rides on this, so it's hard to break it down. But the big thing is, if you look at the two rides on the left screens, they're the exact same at the top. So you see it's South Hill with West 6th Street to South Figueroa, West 18th. If you notice, the middle phone has top tipper rider. The other phone does not. So again, that's another difference that I was noticing too, is when it came to a top tipper notification, which everybody wants to know exactly what that is. Essentially, Uber says that they're more prone to tipping than the average rider. But you think that notification would kind of go to everybody instead of, again, just arbitrarily. So that is something to notice there when it came down to it. And then same thing, the other Trip Radar at the bottom there, underneath on those two phones was the exact same kind of thing. So you see on the left side, it's 25.47. You're getting 225 surge with a $1.50 boost. On the other side, you're getting 24.14 for $2 surge with $1.50 boost. And again, yes, that is Trip Radar, but it is showing up differently. And even though it would be 25-cent difference, you're not seeing a 25-cent difference between the two prices of 25.47 and 24.14.
Yeah,
you're
what I noticed,
a dollar.
Sorry, what I noticed up top on the 849 trip, right? all 4 phones got shown the same trip, pretty much, right? That's the same trip, correct? Isn't it? Because it's like
It's South
starting
Hill.
with.
No, it's different trips. If you look, the first 2 phones are the same
Oh, the
trip at
first 2 are the same.
849.
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah, the other 2 trips, those are the same too.
yeah,
That's but those 2 rides are different. So you have
yeah,
East 12th and Town Ave going to South Figueroa
yeah.
and 20th. So they're 2 different rides. But again, you have one that's 804 with the $1.75 and then 997, which we talked about earlier. So it's not even a $2 difference when it comes to that Boost Plus. All right, so moving on. All right, so this is where there's 2 different trips again. I'm sorry, 2 of the same trips, 2 different prices. There we go. And you can see the $1.50 when it comes to Boost Plus, but it's not exactly a $1.50 difference. It's a little bit different. It's close, but it's not. It's like a $1.40 something. So again, when you see a $1.50 Boost Plus, it's probably not. But think about it. Remember how we talked about nickel and diming?
Yeah.
How many times are they getting those nickels and the dimes out there?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are going to say, well, what's the big deal here, right? What are you guys doing here, right? And then we're going to say, well, the big deal is if you're out there 6 hours and you're going to pop maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 trips, and on each one, from a driver to the next, you get gypped by 50 cents or $1 or 20 cents, whatever it is, and over a month, you're losing tens, if not hundreds of dollars compared to because you have some sort of other algorithm working with you as opposed to some other driver is. And nobody knows. So we're just trying to focus on this one issue that I don't think I should be treated differently than anybody else because I'm an independent contractor, just like the other person is. Why is this person offered a better fare? Now, if we were not side by side, I would give Uber every, excuse saying that, oh, things change. No, these are all trips starting at the same place, ending at the same place. Circumstances are the same. Time of the day is the same. Everything is the same except that we're just 2 different human beings in cars. That's it. And it shouldn't be like that. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And it just shows you that the numbers can be very arbitrary and completely change. And again, when it comes down to a nickel and a dime on difference, that nickel and dime over billions of rides, again, 2 billion last quarter, 10 cents on $2 billion is a lot of money. That's $200 million that if they can squeeze out that nickel, that dime on, that can change a lot when it comes down to the profit that they're claiming versus not. So it's just a way that they're squeezing drivers. And this is just to show you how the pricing of things can vary between drivers that are in the same exact area for the same exact conditions, as Sergio had mentioned. And talking about that, that's something that definitely varies between what it would have been on a per mile and per time distance. So we'll move on now. Um, all right, so this one is again 2 different trips that are coming in. So you can see again, very similar when it comes to the Boost Plus that's there and the Surge. The only difference is there's actually a price difference, and even if it's just a few pennies, that's a few different pennies that you could have had versus what they're going to have. So you're getting, that nickel and dime again. So if that driver A takes 27.51 and accepts it versus the other driver, it says 27.58. That's 6 cents difference right there that Uber could potentially pocket because that person accepted it at a lower rate than the other person, and they don't even know about it.
Yeah, I agree. And then, I mean, yeah, we don't think this is kosher. So
The other thing is, too, when it comes to trip radar, one thing I noticed when it came to this, trip radars go out in groups. I don't know if you know this or not. So what it does is it will go out to a group of drivers in that particular area for a certain amount of time. Then it will say this trip is no longer available. And that is basically, it's taking away from that trip radar portion to that driver. And then they're going to send it to the next batch of drivers. So it's not like everybody within that particular area is getting it. Some drivers are, some drivers are not. So when you see this request is no longer available, that's likely because it's been reassigned to another batch of drivers, and your time has kind of queued out on it, just to make you aware of that. And then when it says like this ride has been accepted by another driver, that means another driver actually had taken it, just to let you guys know when it comes to that. All right, so we went through those first two trips already, and then it got pinged to the next driver, which is driver 3. So again, same exact trip that came in, and now it's being offered to this person because they didn't have that $1.50 difference when it came to boost. It's $25.06, which is about instead $2.50 difference. So they're getting the same surge, but it's coming in at a $2.50 difference than the other two drivers that had it offered. So instead of you thinking it would go up over time because they're trying to match the rider, not necessarily. It's actually gone down. You think, again, with that $1.50 boost not there for that driver, that it would be 26 and let's say 26.06, not 25.06. So instead of a $1.50 difference, you're seeing a $2.50 difference. So that right there is a much different thing. So instead of that nickel and diming driver, now you're dollar diming that driver.
Well, the other thing I want to preface here for everybody who's going to watch this now and later, which I'm sure this is going to be plastered in a whole bunch of different social media or other driver websites. Here's my point, okay? I am 100% sure that what is happening now with upfront fares is a full-on auction system, okay? The driver is getting what they're getting after the passenger has confirmed and ordered this trip. As we all know, the passenger has upfront fares as well. Whatever the passenger gets is being looked at by the algorithm by the millisecond, obviously, and is offered to drivers literally like an auction. Who wants to take it the lowest? Okay, I'll raise it a little bit more. I'll raise it a little bit more until somebody bites. There is a lawsuit in California, which we are going to have the plaintiffs. Actually, we had them 6 months ago, and then there has been some developments, and we're going to do that. There's an antitrust case that's going on, okay? And this is important to understand this. In an antitrust case, the reason they're doing an antitrust is because there is something called price fixing. You cannot do that, right? So when I say that the passenger already knows what they're going to pay because they have their own upfront fare, and them coming and doing this is, according to that lawsuit and the counsel that we have spoken to, is not legal. So we will give you an update on that. But that's all I'm trying to say. This is not just shady tactics. I do understand, everybody is run by algorithms these days. But once the passenger knows the price, what is the reason for them to offer 3 different prices for the same trip that they know they're going to charge 45, let's say, for this trip? So what the algo is doing is, look, can I squeeze another nickel? Can I squeeze another dime? Can I squeeze a 50 cents or $1, or in this case, $2.50? It all adds up to their bottom line, and I think this needs to stop. That's all we're saying.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. All right, so you got these rides right here. Again, these are all the same rides coming in for different drivers, and they're all different prices. So everybody has $1.75 surge included. Some have $1.50 boost plus, some have $2 boost plus, and another has 0. So you can see the first price with the $1.50 boost is being offered at $19.77. The one without is $18.39, which is actually pretty close to $1.50 in this case. Again, it's not exactly because it's really $1.30 and change. So it's not really the full $1.50 there. And then the one with the $2 boost, again, that is actually 50 cents more at 20.27. So this one was actually pretty accurate for the most part. The difference is though, when you're looking at boost versus not boost, you could see that even you'd think it'd be 18.27, which would be the $1.50 or the $2 difference, but in this case it's not. It's 18.39. So it's actually a little bit different. So again, it's the boost pluses aren't actually being true $2 or $1.50 more compared to a phone that does not have boost plus. Go on. So you could see a lot of craziness going on here.
Lots of pings in
there was
downtown.
there was a point where there weren't too many rides that were coming in that were the same, and that this is kind of it right here. But you could kind of see how certain things are going on, and then but yeah, you can see how crazy it is when it comes to downtown LA.
Yeah, while you're running that, I'm going to answer a couple of questions. So one viewer said, why is, do we know how the algo is treating one driver over the other one? There were two similar cars. They were both Tesla Model Ys. The person actually, I looked at, just compared those two to each other. The driver with the 3% acceptance rate, by far, out of maybe 12 or 14 matches that I know of, got the better offers. So it's obviously not acceptance rate because he had a 3% acceptance rate and the other Tesla had maybe like 20% acceptance rate. So actually, ironically, the guy with the lower acceptance rate got the better offers between the two identical cars. Another comment was, we must be running out of material. That's why we're showing these things. Not really. I mean, I think this is an important issue.
If hold on, if you enjoy getting screwed, then don't watch.
By
if you don't want to get screwed, then and you know what's going on, then you might want to keep paying attention.
And in fact, he was questioning the illegal. When I said it's illegal and it's price fixing, and he was like putting up the Google definition of price fixing. When we do have the legal counsel on in a couple 3 weeks, who are in court, and the lawsuit's continuing. Although Uber tried to push it to federal court from state court, that didn't work out that well for them. So the lawsuit is continuing, and you can come and listen to the legal counsel if you're not buying what I'm saying. But we're not here to make excuses. We're just kind of pointing out that as drivers, you must understand you're getting screwed out there. Now, we know we are, but we just want to know how badly we are. That's all. And I just don't want to be treated differently than the drivers sitting next to me. I mean, why? Why am I getting treated differently? So is it the gamification, gamblification, all that good stuff? Maybe, but I don't think it's legal. So, we talked about this a few months ago about the FTC looking into discriminatory practices of these gig apps. There is issues in here. So, we're not saying we're going to fix it. We're just pointing it out. When it comes to fixing it, we'll work on that next.
Yeah, but not only that, is this the questioning of conditioning drivers to start accepting, lower and lower trips for the same exact trip? That's the other thing. Like I say, if you look and you're seeing, if you have a base rate, let's say, where driver 3's phone does not have Boost Plus, and they're telling you $1.50, $2 extra in Boost Plus, or in Surge, where one driver is getting Surge over the other driver, again, for the same exact ride, same exact circumstances, one's showing surge versus not. The biggest issue with that is you can see 5 cent, 10 cent differences, sometimes a couple of dollar differences. And that, again, if that's being accepted by drivers who are continuously accepting lower and lower rides, that means they're pricing themselves lower and lower. And in turn, it's going to be a problem because then you are driving for peanuts at that point. You're offering your services, at a loss in several instances as well, too, if you're not paying attention to your costs. So these are all things that are playing together when it comes down to it. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be shortchanged, 5 cents, 10 cents, because that adds up over time. Again, 2 billion trips. How many trips did you take? If you could have gotten 50 cents more on each trip, how many trips did you take last week? How many trips did you take over the past year? How much would that have added up in differences? So yeah, it's something that you should be probably want to know and pay attention to, especially to protect yourself on these ways of them trying to lower and lower, because we've all seen screenshots already and shown them that the surge shows a higher plus percentage than the actual ride that they're offering. So you might see a ride that comes in at $5.56, but it says plus $6 surge. So how does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, on this is like pretty clear indication right here, right? This is 2 on trip radar, 1 actual ping happening, and they're identical trips, all 3 of them, all 3 different phones. It starts at 1617 on the low side, goes to 1896 on the high side. This is the same damn trip, same damn person, right?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Tell me why this is. Anybody can tell me why this is? Why is there a difference between the first guy and the third guy of a difference of $2.75 for the exact same job? Why am I worth $2.70 less than the first guy? I'm not sure, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just better to be aware of everything so you make more informed decisions is essentially what it comes down to. Right here, again, you're seeing this actually, let me see if I can flip back. So right here, you can see that phone has 1617 that was on trip radar. And then when it pops up, same exact trip, now it's coming in at $16.20. So you got 3 cents difference between the trip radar price versus the ping price. And again, as I've been seeing this and comparing, these screenshots to and from each other, a lot of the times it will be the same between trip radar and what it is ping at, no matter what. So just to keep that in mind when it does happen.
Chris, this really reminds me of to remind everybody to go to read Vina Dubel's article, which she'll be on in a couple of weeks, hopefully, is the house always wins, right? And we did a great snippet on it, and it was ridiculously popular. And this kind of, goes to that. And she called it perfectly. She said, algorithmic wage management. I mean, I cannot say it better than that. This is algorithmic wage management. One guy is worth more to me than the other guy, okay? If this is what the world is going to come down to, good luck to you guys. And we're trying to just talk about it and open some eyes. And and I think we're going to get somewhere with this. We keep doing it. So that's it.
Yeah. Concurred. But the other aspect of things too is, they say that equal pay, equal work, equal pay. This would be the exact same thing right here. Now they're systematically looking at a particular driver, everybody else in this chat, everybody else who turns on their app, they all have their own little algorithms that the master algorithm works and says, oh, I know what you're going to accept. I know what you're going to deny, and I'm going to try to exploit it as much as I can. So again, it's just being aware and knowing exactly what's happening. And then being able to see this happen in real time too is pretty nice. All right, and then right here, this again is just something I noticed when it comes to how trip radar works. So it says trip is no longer available or another driver matched to this request. So that again is just to know how trip radar actually works. So they could be shopping it around to multiple drivers in different batches of drivers. So that's why you may not see a particular ride coming in, and you may be at the same area as another driver, kind of comparing. Um, so that's just kind of let you guys know exactly how that particular aspect works. Um, and going on. Now, right here, you can see two different. Again, you're seeing one ride coming in at 26.28, and then the other ride, same exact ride, is coming in at 27.04. And the difference here too is the one that's lower in price has a higher surge rating. So that one says it's $1.75 included, but it's also paying almost 80 cents less than the other ride, which is only getting $1.50 added in surge, which is also including both the same at $1.50 boost plus. So again, this is where these numbers are not making a lot of sense when it comes down to why that would be indifferent than each other. But the first phone is constantly getting pinged higher than the second phone when these two compare. And you said these were the two that were the EVs, correct, Sergio? Right, Sergio? The first two phones were the EVs that were the same
Yeah.
exact car?
Yes, the exact
Okay.
same car, exact same place, and ironically, like I said, he had the lowest acceptance rates out of all of us. He added a 3%.
There you go.
There you go.
Not saying, I mean, we can't say that that's definitive proof, but it's kind of going in the way. If the algorithm realizes, oh, you're not going to take peanuts, it may have to entice you to do a little bit more with a little bit higher pay.
Yeah, Aaron Lavender. Yeah, but those both already had the EV in there. This is like a head-to-head kind of exact comparison, actually. So they both already had the dollar EV credit in there. So
Yep. It was pretty eye-opening though too.
Who loves Trip Radar? Does anybody like Trip Radar?
I don't know. I have no idea. All right, right here, you can see three different phones all get the same ride. And you can see the price difference between the three of them in quite a bit. So as you can see, the first phone comes in they all have $1.50 surge. Again, one has 150 boost plus. The middle phone has no boost plus,
That's
and
me.
then the
That's
last
smart.
phone has a. Yeah. But then the last phone has a $2 boost plus, and you can see all different. So the first phone is getting the same request coming in at 25.83. Then the middle phone, Sergio, is 24.33. So why are you getting paid less? And then the last phone is getting 27.33. So yeah, it's pretty interesting there because you're getting there's nothing difference between the first and the third phone except for 50 cents difference on Boost Plus. But that's almost that's $1.50 or something.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit more when it comes to that's $1.50 right there in difference instead of 50 cents. So and that one on the right is not, that's a gas powered car. So those who are saying, oh, you're getting that extra dollar, that's not what it comes down to it. That's a gas powered car. The EV is on the left.
Some people are saying like Sergio wasn't offered because he didn't accept it. Your first part of the comment is correct, sir. I was not offered it. I will accept it if I'm going to take their lousy $1.50 boost, which is garbage anyway. But yeah, I'm not being offered much. I'm out of love. Maybe they're watching it too much and kind of weaning me off. You know what I mean? I don't know. I doubt it. But we're not going to get to that part of the commentary there. So yeah, I mean, I think this is something easily you guys can do in your own cities. If you want to dabble into it, just have some fun side by side with another driver or two. It's kind of an interesting thing to do. I mean, we have a plan with this. We're just not doing this because we just want to show you guys this. Okay, so that's it.
Yep. Yeah, it's quite interesting though. Um, Here you can see all the phones got the ping request for this particular ride, and every single phone is completely different. So quite unique there. Surges are different. You're seeing 250 included with a $1.50 boost. You're seeing 225 surge with a $1.50 boost. You're seeing 225 surge, no boost, 225 a surge, $2 boost, and all the pricing is different. So 1896 for the first phone, 1771 for the second, 1617 for the third, and 1920 for the fourth. So right there, you're seeing a massive difference between how they're paying each and every single person for the exact same ride. Now, would you like to be the person that's making 1617 for the ride, or would you rather be making 1920 for that particular ride? I don't know about you. I would much rather be paying or getting paid the 1920 for that same ride.
J777, you're misinformed. The extra dollar is included in there. And if we get the same trips, you will see it. The promo, it will show up as a promo on your weekly, but it definitely is in there. So you know, when the ping comes in, it's in the upfront fare.
Yeah, that person's phone had frozen, so reopening. And you see the 2-trip difference right there. Let me tell you, that was a lot of fun with that. Again, right here, you're seeing 3 phones with different prices, 2 pings coming in, and then 1 trip radar. Again, all different. You're seeing a $1.50 surge. One's got 175 surge. One's got another got a $1.75 surge. And you're seeing 2704 for the one, 2628 for trip radar. And then little old Sergio gets 2478 offered for that ride when it comes down to it. So that's again more than $1.50 difference when it comes
I'm the
to
orphan.
changing Boost Plus.
I'm the orphan. And I'm the orphan, man. I'm just that Uber doesn't like me. And there is one. You can keep playing it. There's one comment I want to answer to. I hope you have opted out. Okay. So that when we do this, if we do it in court, then you get some out of it. Invisible River Ranch. There you go. That's the way. I hope you opted out. We did. We have a video on how opt out of the TOS. So you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely quite interesting though to see the difference between all the phones. Sergio, you were constantly getting pinged the least.
I have
The
I think I had
first
the
phone,
second highest acceptance rate. I think I had
uh-huh.
at 19. I was at 19, so I think I had the second
Wow.
highest acceptance rate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been unique to see how if you would have had the Boost Plus. Were you even offered Boost Plus for this?
No,
'Cause you have
no,
to.
I haven't. I've been offered Boost Plus for a while now.
Okay, so yeah, that's the other thing because a lot of people in the chat were saying, yeah, you have to accept into it, which yes, you do. But the problem is,
if you're
if you're
offered,
not
you do.
offered it, if you're not offered it, you can't accept it. So that's the big thing there. Otherwise, yeah, you'd be accepting it all the time. So
all these people that are saying that, you guys do realize. I don't know how long you guys been around, right? When in the old days, well, not even a year ago, you didn't have to accept anything. If you offered Boost Plus and you're there, you get the Boost Plus. Now the game has been elevated to you must accept it. I'm like, yeah, the reason they do that, by the way, Chris, is a lot of drivers don't understand it, is that then they're going to know what kind of supply they're going to have out there. You know what I'm saying? Because if I accept it,
yep.
they know I'm going to be out there, so they kind of go, okay, I'm going to have 8,000 drivers in this neighborhood between these 2 hours where I'm offering Boost Plus. So, you guys are being played, man. You guys need to understand this. This gamification, gamification part of it, I'm telling you, you guys need to understand this. They don't, why do I have to accept a Boost Plus? Why do I have to accept it? I just show up.
Yep.
No, it's not good enough. Okay, all right.
And then here is, again, this is one that has all four the exact same ride, and they were all requested, and they all came into each phone at different times. This was actually a ride request that came in, and this person was sitting 2 minutes waiting, because if you look at the one phone, it's 3:51 when it came in, the original, and it's 3:53 for the other phones that all these ping requests are coming in. And again, they're all different prices. So you're seeing 2661, 2637, 2487, and 2787. So yeah, you're seeing all different prices for the exact same ride. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be Sergio. I don't want to be accepting 2487.
And I
I
wouldn't
want
be
to be
accepting
accepting
that anyway.
2787. But I mean,
I mean, to be honest with you, look, I'm not going to deny this, right? That trip at that time of the day, right, and taking me from Santa Monica, taking me from downtown LA to Santa Monica, I think is a decent trip. I would take that trip without even knowing that $25 for a half hour work or 37 minutes of work is decent, because when I do get there, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get banged with another decent one. And at that hour, Santa Monica is surging anyway. So that's the trip I would do. Well, without knowing that the other guy was going to do it for 27.87, $3 higher than me. I'm like, dang. I mean, I would do that
mhm.
trip. You know what I mean? I would definitely do that trip.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, looking at it, for 40 minutes of your time, and you're making, 2787 if you're the lucky phone, versus 2487. But,
Yeah.
still, I mean, even 2487 isn't too bad. And when it comes down to that type of trip, because again, less than 40 minutes. So that you might get your 30 or your 37 an hour, but probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But either way, again, when you're looking at the max to min, you're going $3 difference between the two. So, um, yeah, I don't being cheated on. Same thing right here. You got a couple more rides that are coming in, priced completely different. So you got 2847. You got 25, or I'm sorry, 2487 for that. That's what, $4 difference right there. Oh wait, no, hold on. I apologize. There's too many screens I'm looking at. It's like, ah. um,
Yeah.
oh,
Jay,
this
you're right.
the
Jay
bot
is
the
right.
bottom two is different. So it's
Yeah.
2602 versus 2551. So that is what you're seeing there. And
Well, the top two, right? I mean, look, man, he's right. He says that's more than 10% difference. It adds up for the week. No shit. Not that I want to cuss today, really. But yeah, man, if you're out there 30, 40 hours a week, that 10% here, 5% there, at the end of the week, you kind of shortchanged quite a bit. And I don't think it should be that way.
yep. And again, the biggest thing is when it comes down to it, are they preparing drivers to be able to accept
Yes,
you
sir.
know, a few cent lower each and every couple of weeks?
Yeah.
That's called conditioning and programming. And the question is, are
Yeah.
you falling for it or not? So again, right here, you see all the same trip again coming in. And this is a trip that was passed around. This is 3-minute difference
Yeah.
between the time frame of when the first ride request had come in all the way to 3 minutes later when it was introduced to the fourth phone. So you can see again, even between that amount of time, there's not that much difference, because the first phone was offered 2704, and the last phone was offered 2729. So even right there, you can see it's not that much difference when it comes down to it. Even the boost, or I'm sorry, the surge was different. You had $1.50 versus $1.25,
Yeah.
and then the boost. Uh, so in
But
actuality, the only difference was 25 cents, which in this case, that's exactly what it was. It was 25 cents.
yeah.
So if you change the boost plus and the surge around, that's exactly what had happened. So they didn't change the pricing at all. Again, you would think that over time they may change the pricing higher
Yeah.
to make it more appealing for that. But this particular ride, who knows? Maybe it was like a wait and save or something. And they're like, oh, we'll get it as low as we can, and then once somebody finally accepts it, then it is what it is. But yeah, you can see between the times, it might be hard for you guys looking, but yeah, that first phone on the left came in at 351, and the next one was at 354. So 3-minute time difference right there between rides. So again, it just shows you all difference. Right here, Serge, what was that? 6 minutes away. This Uber X, 6 minutes away thing.
1.4x, yeah.
With 1.4x.
Yeah, there are some trips that will come in like that. There's two reasons for that to happen, by the way, Chris. One is when a passenger does not enter a correct address, or what they will do is they're new, they'll put in starting and ending spot as the same address, and then they'll send me the multiplier. I've seen that quite often. The other thing is when, and that's one clue that that you're about to pick up that passenger, but it will not tell you where they're going because, they didn't enter a correct destination. But you will get those as multipliers, and when you do run into those, take them, especially not at 1.4, but if they're like 2x, 2.5, 3x, take those.
Yep. Here's another one. The only difference is you're getting a $2 boost versus no boost, and then $1.75 to $1.50 surge. But Serge, you're getting offered $19.59. The other driver is getting paid at $22.34. That's not $1.75 difference. That should be $1.75, but in fact, it's actually quite a bit more. So you're almost at a $3 difference between these two rides, and it should only be really $1.25 when it comes down to the difference.
Yeah, he drives a Honda Accord, and we're both doing comfort. Obviously, we both got the same trip, so he had boost, I didn't have boost. I had a little better surge than he did, but then ultimately it shouldn't be that much of a difference.
So again, when you're seeing these surge prices, these boost plus includes, not really true.
Yeah.
There's your 5 minutes away, 1.4x. But then, so that came up in the trip radar too. I saw that. And then, these rides again, same exact ride. One driver is getting 28.43. One driver is getting 27.69. Another driver is getting 26.17. And the surge is 25-cent difference from $1.25 to $1.50, $1.50. And then you're getting $1.50 and $1.50 boost difference. So even the first two, you look, that one phone should be getting 25 cents more, but they're actually getting like $1 less than.
I mean, the first two are the Tesla Ys, right? The first two are the Tesla Ys, and there's quite a bit of difference between the two. Same identical cars, same boost, surge maybe 25 cents.
And you're getting it's what, 80-cent difference right there.
Yeah.
So.
And I know whose phone that is, by the way, so I'm not going to say their name, but you're getting gypped there, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Sergio broke the phone with that 1.4x though.
Yeah, I was like, I had enough of this shit. I'm like, come on,
Yeah, so there's two rides, 11.54 to 12.54. Now that's a $1 difference there too. Some of it was somewhat accurate when it came down to.
I keep sending me that. Do you see that thing?
Yeah. I mean, some were accurate when it came to it, but it was very far and few between when it came to these numbers. That was like $1.50 difference or $1 different or whatever it should be. Even right here, you're looking, 37.87 to 38.15. You're seeing that trip there. That's South Olive. You're seeing 28.43. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, there's too many here to keep remembrance of. Oh yeah, right here. So you got the trip radar. This one says it's not active anymore. It's no longer available. So they're getting offered $22.35. You, my friend, were only getting offered $20.81. So you're getting a $1.50-ish difference there.
I have to call.
Which,
I have to call Uber this week. I say, hey man, what's going on here?
So that was unique there too.
Yeah.
Could the difference be because of the percentage of stars, acceptance, and cancellation? No, the person who had the least cancellation, or I'm sorry, the person who had the highest acceptance rate was getting paid the lowest, and the person that had the lowest had the highest pay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not saying that is a true thing, but it's definitely something to look into more.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. And with that being said, that was the end of that when it came down to all of this. So, as you can see, yeah, we have had some very unique pricing when it comes to this, when it comes to the pricing structure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we want to make you aware of that because, why would one driver have to get paid less than the other driver who's doing the exact same thing? I don't think you want to be that driver that was Sergio is.
The invisible rate, or the one that bites it all is getting screwed. I don't know if that's me or not. B Julia 33 has 2 great comments there. Every time I hear that bell, yep, you're trained. My article is coming out this week, and I'm telling you, I'm urging you, please, and I'm gonna post that everywhere, Twitter, whatever it is. It's really well done. I'm not because I wrote it. I mean, this is one of my really better pieces in the last 5 years, Chris. And it's so appropriate how the training happens in the first 2 months, that all honeymoon period. They give you the nice quests and then they wean you off. And then, and then the punishment happens. And then the reinforcement starts happening. All these things that just kind of dawned on me after I spoke to these behavioral scientists for the last couple of months. It's 2 months worth of work in that article, and it didn't get edited that much actually, which I was surprised about. And I'm telling you, man, everybody should read that. That should be the Bible if you're starting the business. I'm telling you, seriously. Don't get trained, get injected.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is, if you guys want to see how it acts, just get together with another driver, or another couple drivers or something, and see the rides that are coming in, and then see what you're getting paid difference and all that good stuff. Because it is quite amazing to see how things are different, and there's no real rhyme or reason onto the reasons why. Because, like I say, when we're putting it all together, even the Teslas are not making as much as the Honda Accord, which is
I both know the Tesla drivers. They were there next to me, and I know these guys. They're from LA. And one was like, how is it that this guy with 3% acceptance rate is getting better offers than me on every single damn trip? And I'm going like, I don't know, man.
All right. Well, Serge, how you doing? Are you able to finish out?
Yes, sir. Let's push on.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a couple of topics that we...
Sorry, Sergio, where's the article being published? It's on our blog, which we had a facelift. Sometimes now I'm having a difficult time finding my own articles there. But, we're trying to talk about it. But I will definitely post that on the next Show Me the Money next week. We'll put the link in. Please go read that. It's going to be an amazing read for you guys. Not that long. It's like 7 minutes. Okay, come on. So
yeah. So big thing here is just said that proves AR doesn't matter, and you're right. It does not matter. No. AR does not mean a damn thing when it comes down to it. And the other thing is, let's be real. Those who had a low acceptance rate to a higher acceptance rate, they were still getting offers no matter what was coming in. So that's the other thing. I mean, obviously, LA is a much different beast than maybe a smaller market, and most markets for that matter. But when it comes down to your correct position, your correct timing, the other P's that we talk about, these different strategies, you're still going to be able to get out there and make some money. The question is, are you making as much money as your next driver right next to you or not? And that's where you got to do your own sit down, see what's going on, compare your phones, screen record them and send them to us. Let's see the difference. And then give us the details there when it comes to acceptance rates and type of car that you're driving and all that good stuff.
And give Chris a hand. It took him 2 weeks to do this. Seriously, this is not easy. There's like 30 pings, 4 phones. match it side by side, do all this stuff. I have no idea how to do it, but he did a great job. So there you go, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
And we're gonna and the next one we're gonna do is actually on the passenger side. I just want to see how badly the passenger is getting screwed on this deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know we're getting screwed.
that would be, that's the next. And then somebody had put they want to see Lyft on there. So hey, maybe we'll do that. Hey, anybody who's in Buffalo, Chris at therideshareguy.com. Shoot me an email. We'll get together. We'll do this on the Lyft app. We can do that, and then we can see what happens there. So anybody who's watching that's in Buffalo, let me know, or get hold of Sergio if you're in LA at Sergio at therideshareguy.com. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.